Hello, seventh graders. I just want to go through a quick review of a CER, and I wanted to embed this video into the PowerPoint so that you could reference it as you're studying, or you can at least play it in the background and maybe pick something up if you need to review it. But this is a really important part of not only the test that we're taking this week, but also future tests. So that's why I wanted to have this resource available for you to use. So CER, remember, is claim evidence reasoning. When you are making a claim, what we're doing is we are stating a fact. We're asking a question that you will later answer. It could be voicing an opinion. It could be kind of making an argument, starting an argument in that form. So your claim, there's not just one right way to do it, but essentially you are showing what information you want to get across and why you are saying something that is worth talking about. So here are some examples. Maybe I'm stating a fact of running hills improves your speed. Okay, so that could be an example of stating a fact. Asking a question: why is social media addiction so dangerous? Voicing an opinion or making an argument. These can look kind of the same. Maybe I'd say science is the most important subject to study. So those are all examples of claims, different ways you can phrase or frame the claim that you wish to make. Evidence. And I used the two links are at the top of where I got my information. In your actual, when we do this on a test, you don't need to memorize the resource where you got your information, but it should be factual information. I went a little beyond here in providing facts. This is what I would expect when you're doing more of a research paper, when you're putting it in your own words. But what we're doing is we're providing facts for our evidence to support our claim. Some of this may look like is statistics, maybe that a study that was done, maybe just actual factual information, research article. So this part might be a little more difficult on the test because you have to really know what you're talking about to answer this. So when I made one of my claims that running hills can increase your speed, okay, I might want to talk about how having that incline, running up an incline, you have to recruit more muscles. And so it's actually building muscles that you might not use as much otherwise on flat surface running, such as like your hips, glutes, and quads. I could talk about, the science behind stressing muscles, how that then we're recruiting more muscle cells. The body is identifying that as a need. I could have gone a lot of different ways with that science. But whatever I'm doing, I'm just providing facts that provide evidence. Okay, for my claim or my question about the social media. Okay, so here I'm providing evidence. I've got some facts. Being on social media releases dopamine. This is a hormone from the brain that is it's linked to addictions, things like gambling, tobacco, alcohol, so forth. So that's an actual scientific evidence. I have a statistic here at the bottom. 60% of women admit being addicted to social media. 56% of users share they're afraid of missing something important. Average person spends 135 minutes per day on social media. So those are statistics. That's like using actual numbers for the evidence. So I've made my claim. I've got some facts to back it up. And now the reasoning. So here you're explaining like how that evidence supports your claim. So your evidence is just purely facts or some form of, scientific information. So now my reasoning, I can use my opinions. I can use kind of like my own thinking. I rationalize. I show the relationship. So for each piece of evidence, you also offer an explanation of how it supports your claim. So, for example, because social media releases the same hormone as drug addiction, your brain's wanting to spending more and more time on it. It's seeing that addictive quality. You have a fear of missing out on what other people are doing. And so you find yourself scrolling through more information, but really, you're not forming deep connections online. Okay, so this is kind of like this might be like my opinion. You know, if you're spending 135 minutes on average online, that's 135 minutes less you're spending with people in real life or getting something accomplished that's more worthwhile. And so I could see that as, well, that might be damaging. Um, and it's addictive because you want to know what other people are doing, but you also like to do it from the comfort of your home. What this is going to look like on a test. So this is an actual question from the test, okay? So you can use this, you can study this, you can practice this. But I'm giving this to you because I don't want there to be any surprises. In our opening unit, our focus is why should someone study life science? Or you could phrase this question as why should a Christian study life science? You can interpret it either way. But you're making your claim, and I gave you more room to write than this on the actual test. But I don't expect you to write a long paper. A sentence or two. So you're making a claim. Okay. And I want you to really internalize this. So why should you find it important to study life science, really? And we did some of these activities last week where you got a chance to do some research. So hopefully you can make that into a claim. You can provide 2 pieces of evidence. You'll support, and then you'll say how each piece of evidence supports. So the test is exactly like this. And we'll talk more on this in class.